Okay, back at the workbench, and we're going to put on our oil and grease. I usually start with grease because I want it to adhere to the metal. If I get some oil in there and then add grease, it doesn't stay as well. You know, I use the Tri-Flow clear synthetic grease. That's what I use. And I use a little cut down paintbrush to apply it. So the first thing I'm going to put just a wee little bit on is the inside of this fork, where it goes on to the needle holder. Just want a little bit in there because that's going to be going up and down on the needle holder, and we want to prevent some wear. The next thing I'm going to do is put a little bit around on this cam. Get a little bit more on here. Now you don't need to over oil and grease these things. It's just you want it to prevent a little friction. You advance that a little. So to have a very light layer of the lube and oil is really all you need. Any lube and oil does attract dust, dirt, thread lint, fabric lint, and that stuff is harmful to moving parts, of course. So we need a nice film of lubricants, but I'm always amazed at some of the videos I see on YouTube where they just really slather it on. And I thought, well, I'd like to go back and look at that gear or rod or lever a year or two from now and see what that looks like. But anyway, that's my opinion. So I think I've gone just about, yep, there's the just about 360 there. So I think I've got that pretty good here. And then the couple more places on the top here for lubricant are going to be this area right along here. See where that, right up in there. I'm going to get that, some good grease right in there. Just a little bit more on that. Okay. And then around this area where the adjusting knob comes through the cover and sits, and you've got that spring, and you've got action when you turn that gear. So we're just going to go around the edge of that a little bit. Get a little grease on there. It should do it. So I think that's about it for the is that it for the top? Yeah. Okay. When we go over on the back side, move that up out of the way. The pinion gear needs oil and lubricant. On the gear itself, the little spines or fingers of the gear is where you want the lubricant, and where that whole gear rests into the mounting plate is where you want the oil. So the oil would be around that edges where it's metal to metal, and the grease is actually just on the gear fingers or spines or protrusions. I don't know the name for that. Because that rides along around the template, and you have a metal to metal situation. So that's why we're going to put some lube on there. As a matter of fact, they suggest putting lube inside that track of the template. And we might do a little bit of that too. But there's lube for that. And then there's one more place left for lube on the main device, and that's right here. And we're just gonna, I don't know if you can see, there's kind of a flat spot there, and you see the indentation, and we're just gonna put a little film of it right there. And that's the lube on the device. Now, like I said, they do say that you come along and you put some lube inside of here, and I do that sometimes, and sometimes I don't. It just seems well engineered, and this kind of a metal, I've never seen any rust on or anything. But if you want to give it a little, feel free to do so, because they do recommend it. That's going to take care of our lube, and we'll go ahead with our oil now. I have a Tri-Flow in the little 2-ounce drip bottle. I have my refill bottle, and I am going to put a couple drops in this laundry soap measuring cup that I use, and get back over here on the back side. Nothing else in there. We want to get some oil. See how this plate is going to slide along the other plate and past that holder. So we want to get some oil in there, and they do recommend the oil. So I'm going to pull it up about there, and they also recommend oil here and along here. Basically that whole thing is sliding, and along this other side where it slides. So you can use drops. I like to get in there with my brush a little bit and do it. Get some oil in there. Come on this other side, get some oil. Come down here, get those little bristles in there.